I think we're on. Boys, let's do it. Oh, I'm going to wait. I'll wait to make sure everybody's here first before I get really excited. But this is a big one. This, my friends, is a big one. Obviously, I've not been here since the last stream that I did was 2 weeks ago for a League One related one. So, obviously, same as Championship as well. So, this is going to be a big one. Like an actual big one. I'm going to look at it now and I'm going to count it for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 actual players that have been done. Like 12 big ones as well. I'm not going for little poxy ones that mean no. 12 big ones that have been done. And I've got 2 club-related things as well. So this is going to be a big dog. This could be quite a long one. So strap the hell in, dog. Also, we're going to be doing this tomorrow as well for Championship. So it's going to be the same thing again. It gets up to 30 degrees in Barnsley tomorrow. And I'm going to be sat in my bedroom like a little dweeb doing this. But I'm going to love every second of it, baby. I'm going to love it all. Right. Also, new look. Shit, what we're thinking. Guys, any thoughts? Any thoughts? Little black number. Okay. Black, white, and red. Thoughts? Because I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Right. Okay. Some of them, by the way, even the player ones that I've got might have like 4 or 5 on. So that might give it away who it is. But there's so much to talk about. There's so much to address. And I'm very giddy. Seriously, I'm very excited for this. I've been looking forward to it since I got back. I were going to not do the live yesterday and come straight into this. But I just wanted to get that. I wanted to speak about my Golgic. I was really excited, which we're going to do in this anyway, but later on into it. Also, just a quick thank you, as always, to Match Bingo for sponsoring it. Come on, guys, we know how it works. It's a bet builder mashed up into one. There's obviously loads of football coming up. They do darts and cricket as well. It's the one, mate. Honestly, it's the one. It's an alternative to just normal gambling where we lose all this money. Not that you're gonna win anything on there either, like legally. But who knows? You know what I mean? If you deposit £5, you get £10 free. Link top of the description. It's great. Right? Is that real? By the way, has Brodie Spencer actually signed for Oxford? Because I've not put it on here. But if it has, I'm going to go and check really quickly, because if it has, then I'll stick it on right now. Let me just check. I saw that they were heavily linked, but I've not seen if it's actually happened. Oh, no, I doubt it's happened just now, surely. Oh, my God. Right, Brodie Spencer's been added. Let me just get that one on right now. Hold on, guys. Everybody calm down. You're going to see it live. Live. Brodie Spencer. So then I click that. You can't even see what I'm doing. I don't know what the fee is. I'm just going to put £1,000,000. Just to see what crack is really. Put that like that. From Club Huddersfield. One sec, guys. We're working on the job. We're working on the job. I don't know what it cost. So no idea. And then we'll go and look at it. Right, guys. What the hell? Right, I put £1,000,000 on. So first up, Brodie Spencer. So prepared. Knew this was coming. Definitely didn't just have this in the highly likely category, the rumour category. I've not deleted it just now and turned it into a completed one. But Brodie Spencer is actually a very good one. Obviously, I'm not prepped, really, to speak about this. But the age that he's at, 21 as well, I really like this. Oxford are making some big old moves, you know. Some big moves. For a traditional smaller club, really, like you wouldn't just look at them in Championship and think, yeah, they belong there, do you know what I mean? But they made some really good signings. Some really good signings, baby. I don't think they'll come down ever. Honestly, they've got an owner willing to spend, which is the most important thing. Today's football, it don't matter how much money you generate. It just means all that matters, have you got an owner willing to chuck grass at your club? And Oxford very clearly have. They've got the core there, a very good squad. But this is a League One, so I'm going to speak about the Huddersfield side of things. BL Bridden, I know you're a Huddersfield fan because you constantly spam that stupid shit. You like this guy. I know any Huddersfield fan looking at this is quite upset, I would imagine. I don't think you expected him to leave, really. 1 year left on his contract and about £1,000,000. Is he an Huddersfield fan? I know he's obviously Northern Irish, but has he not come through Huddersfield's kids and all? Sure he has. I'm sure he came through there. But I like him as far as a fullback goes, with the resale value as well. I think that's a good signing for Oxford. I really do. Huddersfield have lost. Obviously, they let a lot of players go, Huddersfield. And they're not one that's going to be in this division selling a lot of the best players. You know what I mean? They're not going to go and sell. Who even are Huddersfield's best players that they come down with? Really? To be fair, they sold Ellick as well. They sold Ellick as well in January, both to Oxford. Mate, you Huddersfield are Oxford's feeder club. What a world, baby! What a world. Football. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Talented player, but has some serious errors in him. Is a good pickup for Oxford, so I wish him the best. Significant undisclosed fee. I don't mind him going, I can't lie. It's a lot of money for Oxford to drop on a full-back in it as well. But they've got loads. They've actually just got loads. £1 million is a good fee for any team in League One. It is for a full-back with a year left on his contract. But I wouldn't have thought that it had gone. I didn't think it had gone. So it's just another position now for Huddersfield to strengthen in. And even though Huddersfield have got some very, very good players, they did a lot of good business early doors. Ledson, Joe Lowe, who's the other fellow they brought in? Sean Rowan's gone there as well. Hasn't he? They've got a few. They've got a few very good players in early doors. That Goodman, keeper that were alone at Wimbledon as well. But since that initial onslaught of bringing in loads of very good starters, there's not a lot. There's not a lot of depth there or quality in depth at Huddersfield. I still think they need 3 or 4 starters really to come in, I would say. You think you're getting Brad Potts as a replacement? What a right back. Do you think Huddersfield still play 5-back? I guess with 3 they've brought in a centre half, maybe, because none of them are going to want to sit on bench either. So maybe they are, and that would make more sense. I think Potts will stay at Preston, me, personally. I really liked him when he was, though. I really liked him. Oxford got some serious ambition. But yeah, that's a very good pickup for Oxford. Very good pickup. It's just another position that they've got to change, though, Huddersfield. And we'll come back and look at them towards end as well. But this is first of... Well, it's not even first. This is probably the 10th of many good players from Plymouth that are leaving. Very good players. I'm telling you now, if you were... Traditionally, if you were a side that had an half-decent backing, if you were one of the biggest sides in this division, and Plymouth aren't traditionally even a big club, but Plymouth coming down into this division, you would normally look at it and just think, players normally, not all of them get moves. Not every single half-decent player that you've got gets a move. You would just come down, sell maybe 1 or 2, keep rest them, and then walk league and get promoted again. This league is not what it once was. It's not. It's so much change now. You don't just come here and immediately get straight back out of it. You get stuck. You get stuck for a long time. Even if you try and keep your players, you get stuck. It's a difficult league to get out of now. It's actually just... It's wild, mate. It's absolutely wild. Right, West Bromwich Albion Vlogs, thank you for the 5, mate. I see you in here all the time. Thank you very much. West Brom, the Norwegian striker, was our opinions on West Brom. New sign and love the content. Thank you very much. Well, obviously, I've got no idea about that striker. It's come from... Go on. Is he even... It's a Norwegian striker, but I don't think it's even come from Norway. Isn't it like a... It's not a Swedish side it's come from. It's definitely a Scandi. I just didn't know if it was Norwegian or not. But you've got that centre-half, haven't you, that Hegem. So I think that's why he's chose your over some other ones. But obviously we're going to talk about that more in the Championship one tomorrow. But West Brom, honestly, if West Brom spent some money... when was the last time West Brom spent money? Proper money in this division. They were really good at picking up frees from the other best players, really, in division. They took Moat off us, they got John Swift off Reading. They were really good at that at time. But if they actually spend some brass, West Brom, they're pushing to the top. They're pushing to the top. But I appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Kiss. But, going back to this, I thought the bald fella, were he on loan? What were his name? They were Plymouth centre-half. Obviously, everybody references the Liverpool game because they bet him in FA Cup, and that defensively they were really good. Who was that bald guy? He were at Rangers as well at one point, weren't he? Is he like a Bosnian? But I thought he were better than this bloke. Obviously, being 25, this guy's got more resale value and stuff like that, and probably can develop into a better player. And Plymouth fans can disagree with me here, but I thought he was the weaker of the two of the new centre-halves that Plymouth got in January, personally. It is a big loss. Again, Katic, that's the one. But there's so many players that leave. And similar to, well, Plymouth and Luton are both in the same position, but Luton are bringing in more players, I think, quite quicker. Mate, you're losing so much quality. So much. And it's all right thinking, we're bringing in X amount of money, we're then going to spend X amount of money. And maybe other clubs do work like this, because I'm a Barnsley fan, so obviously we haven't generated, or we don't work like this. We work like absolute idiots with our owners. But you're not going to spend all that money. There is an inevitable big drop-off in finances that the leagues give you. What do you get TV revenue in Championship now? In like 8 million quid a year or something. So somewhat outrageous. It might be 6 to 8 million quid, I think. And in League One, you get about 2. So you've got all these players that have obviously got relegation clause in as well, where they're going to take wage reductions. But it's a lot of money that you need to recoup. You're not going to bring in, say, 8 million quid Plymouth are going to bring in, something like that for the players, and then go spend 8 million quid. You might spend 4, which is still a lot, but there's a lot of positions you've got to cover at once. A lot of them. Plymouth, I'm not as confident on them as I am in like Luton, for example. I think Luton are an absolute cert for top 6, like 1,000,000%. But Plymouth and Cardiff, really, I'm not that convinced on. I'm not. There's a lot of half-decent sides in this division that could jump you very easily, that aren't losing all the best players. I mean, and obviously some of these are Championship standard players that Plymouth are going to lose, this bloke being one of them. And I think Stoke have got a decent deal here for 2 million quid. I did like the other guy better, but I still think this is a daft decent deal for 2 million quid. But it's like, it's a lot of players to bring in at once. It's a lot to bring in at once. I personally, from a selfish point of view, Barnsley's first game is Plymouth away. And it's longest at season. They're going to be a decent side regardless. They're going to finish top 8, really, you'd think, at least. I'm glad that we're getting out at way early doors. But for a different reason now, Barnsley aren't going to have a humongous turnover of players, really, in terms of like outgoings. I think the core of the squad, a lot of it is going to be the same, with a little bit added here and there. And I still think we'll lose, by the way, still. But wouldn't be overly surprised to see us go and try and nick some at first game, because they're going to bring a lot of players in at once. Some of them might be later towards back end of window, end of August. If we can go there first game and snag some while Plymouth a lot are in and out still, a big revolving door. New manager, new everything almost. Taking time to gel. We have full new system under Cleverly. There's going to be like heavily playing out from back and all this shit. Teams might fancy Plymouth early doors. You want to get them sides while they're transitioning. The bigger ones, well, the better sides even, that you'd think. But it's going to be a miss, that, Plymouth. I won't be looking at them and thinking, yep, definite top 6 with the amount that they're going to lose early doors. Saying that, I know this isn't just a like for like, because we reduce into more of a say. You can play a bit of everywhere, Fleetwood fans are saying. This I really do like. I do really like this. And he's going to have a lot of the pre-season under his belt, so he's not going to be one that I'm referencing here, saying that you're definitely going to struggle. Like, he's going to take time to gel in, because he's obviously going to be there for a long time. He's going to note crack by the time next season starts. Very good signing. Very, very good signing. I was surprised that he stayed in League Two for... Is it 2 years now that he stayed with him? They didn't go. Did they go down last year? Have they only had 1 year? I can't remember if Fleetwood have only had 1 year in League Two. I feel like they've had 2, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I can't remember. But still, even 1 year is too long for this bloke. I know that Rotherham went in with like a cheeky ass bid, and I don't know what the actual reported fee is. It says on Transfer Market it's €300,000. Whether that's true or not, I obviously don't know. No one really knows, do they? Unless it like actually comes out. But I'm surprised he's another one that I'm surprised haven't really got a Championship move. He's only had 1 year in League Two, so they got relegated last season. Then Fleetwood. Why can I not remember that? I went as well. I thought I went under Duff, but I must have gone under Collins in second year. Just can't really remember. I thought they'd been down 2 years, Fleetwood. But regardless, that is a good pickup. That is seriously a good pickup. I do like that. And it's not a like for like, as I've just said, because a lot of Fleetwood fans are saying that he can play more of a 6. Whether Plymouth play like a 5-back and one of your middle centre-halves comes into middle or something like that. Cleverly's very tactically switch on, isn't he? So there's gonna be quite a lot going on, you'd think. I think it'll be a lot of players all over the place. And defensively, I could see him conceding a fair few goals, honestly, especially away Plymouth, because they're going to try and go to, these horrible, poxy little grounds where pitch is like playing on a landmine. You're trying to play somewhere like that, out front back, in like a fairly hostile place. I do think they will concede a few goals away from home. Personally, Plymouth. But I do like that signing. All the negatives that I've just said, I do still like this one. I do like that. Now, oh fucking Jesus, sorry. Now, Reading. Again, I don't want to get too excited for certain sides, because it's still very early in transfer window. Teams can obviously lose a lot of players, and Reading have still got a lot of players to bring in, a lot of them. But I do like their early business. We're going to look at a few more as we go on. But obviously, Powdy O'Connor earlier in window were a big whip. That were very good. But depth is something that is going to kill a lot of sides. You look at the 3 sides that got promoted, well, especially the top 2 in this division last year. Birmingham, yeah, they spent trillions, but at the same time, they had a lot of depth. If someone were injured, you could just bring someone else in straight like that. And a lot of the sides at minute, Plymouth included in this, with the amount that they've got to bring in, and Reading as well, there is no strength in depth there at all. And I think unless you've got loads of money or a very good academy, really, that you can sort of bring kids in and just adapt them straight away and hope that they hack it, then Reading haven't really got the depth, I think, to push rate at very top. And no one really has, because there's going to be that many ins and outs. No one really has. But Luton, I could see by the time it's done having it. I think Huddersfield have got depth, not quality in depth as of yet. I think Bolton are going under the radar quite a bit, with some of the players that they've brought in. Mainly because Bolton are bringing in players that nobody's heard of. So it's hard to get a grasp, really. But with the money that they're spending, they're chucking a fair bit of brass, really do, as Bolton. So they've sold no one. They might be all right, as always. But this one I really like. I really, really do like this one. Obviously, they're on loan at Portsmouth last season, Mark O'Mahony. And apparently, I think it said Barnsley, Plymouth, and someone else were all like flirting with him a little bit. And obviously, he's gone to Reading. I really like this. I really do. I genuinely think, from the bits that I saw at Portsmouth, which, don't get me wrong, 95% of it last season was just watching highlights, because that's what it is. I'm not going to sit and watch him at 3 o'clock on a Saturday when I'm watching Barnsley lose to Burton. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to do that. But from the highlights and the bits that I saw, it were coming off bench a lot. But I think to get 4 goals in 14 appearances, the majority of which off bench, is good going. In league above, we're never going to get a serious crack at it when you've got Bishop stood up front. So obviously, you're trying to get past one of the most informed strikers in division, who Portsmouth actually own. They were never going to get a serious run at it. I'm surprised he's come to League One, personally. I could have seen like maybe Charlton or Sunday going for him. I thought like a bottom end championship side would have fancied this. This is a very good signing. Very good. Really, really good. They're not worrying me as of yet, Reddit. I'm not taking them as a serious top sixer. But I think you've got there's a certain calibre of club in there that's a certain size in this division that you always look at and think, all right, yeah, they're going to be in and around it. And Reading are obviously one of them regardless. But another like 6 or 7 of these type of signings, and Reading could be something to watch. But there's no depth there at minute. They've got some serious quality in certain positions, which I really like. But it's just so mix and match at minute that they're still quite far off, I think. Speaking of, well, we'll talk about this first. Zachary, thank you very much, brother, for the 5. Very, very, very kind of you. Kiss. You're only EFL person I watch. I support Prem Club. You are a joy to look at. Kiss, kiss. I'm moving to Exeter in September and we'll go to games. How they're looking. Exeter, I think you've picked quite a poor time because I think they'll be bottom 6, personally. I would say bottom 6. But who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares? Exeter seem to always surprise people. I think most of the time people predict them to go down anyway because they're a smaller club with a smaller budget, a smaller everything really, but they always seem to punch above the weight. Like I've seen the owner many a time on. He's done like interviews before and I've seen the clips then put up on TikTok afterwards, saying about like how they develop players. It's like their academy's really good, but they sell them to Prem sides before they even get a game really most of the time. But yeah, Exeter I think could be in a bit more trouble. Me next time. Bridden, I literally don't even press the button. I don't know what you want from me. I don't even press. I'm very clearly doing this. I don't press any buttons. It's YouTube's automated thing. What do you want from me, bud? But thank you, Zach. I appreciate it very much. Who do you even support, by the way? I will keep an eye out. I'm not going to say it, but I will keep an eye out. I appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Next, going to Finley Burns. Where the hell was he last season? I can't remember off the top of my head, and I did this earlier. I believe it were another championship side, but I can't remember. I feel like he's been at Cov before. He was Hull last season, but he only got 9 games apparently. Why can I not remember that for the life of me? I don't remember this man in champion. Well, I thought it were going to be championship just because of the way that he come here, but I can't remember. I can't remember being at Hull. Am I just lost? We're like a January one after the. Nah, I can't remember him at all. Literally cannot remember him. Regardless, I'm assuming it's good. I can't remember anything about this bloke, so I've got no real opinion on it. But this has got to be half decent, surely. It's another one. Let's not get it wrong. Powdy O'Connor and Finley Burns are going to be good centre halves for this division. Obviously, I've spoken about Powdy O'Connor a lot. I don't know much about this bloke. 2, I'd assume, very good centre backs for this division. But are they an improvement on Mbengu, who's gone to QPR, and Tyler Binden, who was obviously sold to Forest, loaned out for the rest of the season, and is now at Sheffield United? You're looking at two top Championship centre-halves from last season that have gone. Again, I've just said it. Very, very minimal depth or quality within depth in this squad, I think, personally. Reading, I don't think, are a million miles off in terms of starting 11 quality from being near top, but the depth is awful, really. I still think they need some much better wingers, and they've massively downgraded on a defence that got... guys, I'm going to say it, they got absolutely bitch slapped by Barnsley last game of the season by the worst Barnsley side ever. So I would just say that. But still, I don't think if they get a lot of depth in, and I'd assume Reading's academy is going to be all right. You know, with like the facilities and that they've got. Maybe this is just me like stereotyping them, but with the facilities and infrastructure that Reading have got, despite all the circus, well, the circus might have helped it. Surely they've got some young uns coming through that could sort of like do a job, Reading. But they still need a lot of players, man. They need a lot of players. Zach, thank you for it too, mate. Thanks for the info. Love, kiss, kiss. I support Newcastle. You didn't have to donate, bro. I would have just like, I was watching out for you commenting there. But I appreciate it, mate. Oh, how weird, man. Why are you going down to Exeter from Newcastle, by the way? Talk about a culture shock. Jesus Christ. Is there even one Greg's in Exeter? You're going from about... How many Greg's are in Newcastle? Let's have a guess. I reckon we're talking like 100. How many Greg's in Newcastle? Isn't it like Greg's capital of the UK? 20. I don't believe that. I reckon it's more than that. Only 20. Oh my god, it's not even top. It's third. In the Greg's World Championships, Cardiff is top with 23, then Birmingham with 21, then Newcastle with 20, and Sheffield's got 18. I would have thought that it'd been closer to 100 than 0. I'm very surprised with that. I can't believe Newcastle's third on that list. How many Barnsley got? I think we've got 5 in town centre. London's got 42. Is that it? In fact, I'm surprised it's got that many. It's just full of prets in it. Ugh. Weirdos. You're going out for uni. Oh, mate. Just stop in Newcastle. Why would you leave that place? If I were born in Newcastle, I'd never leave. But thank you, Zach. I appreciate it again. Sadie, thank you very much. God, it's good to be back, baby. Thank you very much. I'm excited to see how League One progresses. Glad your lads are back. Can't wait for tomorrow. New Duck out too, bringing the money. I saw clips of... Or I saw a photo or something. And I'm sure it's at Barnsley away. That might be quite a big thing, though, because we were slapping you up. We were, and you somehow, well, Stansfield just hit one from about 50 yards and it went in, didn't it? And we got robbed with red card. As always, 2 red cards against Birmingham, by the way, home and away. Not suspicious at all. Classic. Paying all refs all this American yank money. But that I might watch that. In fact, they wanted to buy some, well, they didn't want to buy it. They just wanted my footage off me. Just like, put a blank piece of paper in front of me. Sign this, we're going to use your footage. I was about, no. What do these guys think? All that money? Jesus Christ. But thank you, Sadie. I appreciate it very much. Very, very much. Always see you in here. It's not a stream without you in here. But thank you very much. Very kind of you. And there's going to be a lot to talk about with your boys, isn't it? Tomorrow. Jesus Christ. So much to talk about with Birmingham. so much going on. Right. This is a very big one. I don't know the actual fee, but it's apparently Stockport's record signing. I looked, and I believe Stockport's record signing... Oh, no, I'm on about Leyton, aren't you? Shit. Never mind. I don't know the actual reported signing, but his transfer value, mother sales, were about £1 million. Peterborough's owner, as much as he is a bit of a dosser, does get very big fees for his players. So you can't fault him for that, really. But I really like this for Stockport. I really, really like it. Obviously, they got the money in from Alafe being sold, and then immediately bring in this bloke. I like it, me. I like it. I'm going to say it again. I went to Peterborough home and away last season. Peterborough, none of the big players that are getting these moves impressed me at all. Obviously, I didn't see Poco. He was injured at the time. And he's impressed me in previous seasons. But none of the players impressed me. Like Ricky J. Jones, honest to God, did not do it for me that well. Really didn't do it. Cipriano didn't do it. That defender, Jesus Christ. Defensively, I thought they were shit. I thought they were toss. He's one of the only ones that I thought, all right, definite championship move, really. We how Peterborough operate and the sell-out that moves. I thought definite championship move. I'm very surprised he's still in League One. Very surprised. Especially at a side like, no disrespect here, a side like Stockport, as opposed to someone like Luton coming down with loads of money, or a Bolton or a Huddersfield. You know, bigger sides, loads of brass. I'm surprised that he's gone to Stockport, but they are run perfectly. Stockport are run blueprint, absolutely fantastic on how to run a football club without spending bucket loads of money that you don't actually have. He's so good. He's genuinely really good. I like him, mate. And at 21, big resale value there. Stockport are starting to shift now from picking up loads of frees and just being a constant merry-go-round of frees, ins and outs, and working your way up league like that, to now making big sales and spending that money that you're bringing in. Very good owner Stockport have got. It feels inevitable that one day they will get promoted to Championship. I'm fairly convinced on that within that next couple of years. I don't think it'll be this one, but I don't think it's a million miles away. Me personally. Ricky J. Jones' pocket without end product. I weren't that convinced on Ricky J. Jones, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he's got to move to German top flight. I know it's one at like smaller size. It's equivalent to going to like Burnley this year, but still, he's got a top move. It's crazy. It is crazy that. But this I like. I like Mothersill. 12 goals, 9 assists, by the way. 21 goal contributions in 46 games. Not half bad for a side that crap that finished what, 18th, something like that. Peterborough. Not half bad. Good signing. Really good signing. Speaking of, I did a TikTok on this, right? And if you've seen it, you've seen my piece. This is the best sale of all time. The hands down, value for money, the best sale I have seen in my entire life. And no disrespect to this bloke, because he might come and turn into a world beater up at Rangers when he's going to be. Even though he's crap, he'll still be one of the best players in the league every week comfortably. You know what I mean? That's just a standard outside at top 2 really in Scotland. But oh my god, it's not like they've signed an 18-year-old in that can still like got loads of years of development in front of him. And I know 23 is still a spring chicken here, but he's not a child. He's a very experienced footballer now, and to spend that much on him is it's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. He's half decent at playing it out front back, but he still looks like a cart horse when he's doing it. And I guess you can get away with that when you're playing St Mirren and them boys. But I'm trying to envision Emmanuel Fernandez playing out front back at Celtic Park is giving me nightmares. I'm being serious. It makes me feel a bit sick. It's scaring me. It's genuinely scaring me. If he starts against Celtic, I'm not being funny. He conceded 8. It's been said. I do think some of the Rangers signings, and we're going to look at another one in a minute, because they've been doing a lot of shopping in England, haven't they, Rangers? Some of them are very good. Some are much better than others. But I'll tell you what, I would shake Darren McAnthony's hand right now, and I don't like him, but I would shake that man's hand, because this is serious business. Serious business, man. Oh my god. Brands CAFC. Oh my god. Do you think Charlton will stay up? Ops on the sign. Thank you for £2, mate. I want to say yeah, but I just don't. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I just don't. Admit it. It's more a case of like, who are you going to finish in front of? You know what? I'll give you Wednesday and all. Even like Hull might not even be down there really. We don't know with this manager. We don't know with the embargo side of things. Wednesday are nailed on cert to go down. I'll give you Hull. Name one other side that you're going to see him finish in front of. If anybody says Oxford, you're getting blocked. But people maybe say like Preston. I just think Ecky's got too much experience as a manager now. A big rebuild underneath. They might start quite slow, but I think they'll be fine as they go on. I can't see a lot of sides that you could potentially finish in front of me. And don't get me wrong, Charlton are making some really good signings. You're doing a Barnsley. Like, in terms of, you are stealing all of Luton's players, and that's what they just used to do to us. Really. And Charlton are making some really good signings. Don't get me wrong, some really, really good ones. But I can't see him finishing in front of any of the sides that are in and around there. Watford, no chance. Portsmouth will finish higher up table, if anything. They'll be better. Watford have got someone like Loser, though. And that Georgian fella. They're better than everybody at Charlton put together. There's just way too much quality. Stoke have got Mark Robbins, and Cora squad's really good. If they sell Berger, then they're going to have like 10 million quid at least to spend. They'll be fine, Stoke. You know what I mean? I just don't... I want to say, yeah, I would like to see Charlton stay up. I seriously would, because you've not had a serious run at it in honest 10 plus years now. But I can't see it. I really can't see it. QPR, not a chance. Mate, QPR an outside chance at playoffs, I'd say. No way with QPR. Absolutely no way. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I want to, but I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but thank you, Brands. I appreciate it, but I just don't see it. This is really good as well. Wrexham, nowhere. This is a really nice one. I were worrying about Lincoln, and I made it very clear that I was worrying about Lincoln, based on the fact that they've lost the 2 centre halves. Obviously, the midfielder that Ethan Erhan's getting linked to here, there, and everywhere. He's not gone anywhere yet, I don't think, unless I've missed something massive. But losing the 2 centre backs for a side that are typically very hard to break down and hard to beat, and what were 2 of the best players easily, especially Powdy O'Connor, I then started to worry about him. But to bring in Riley Towler and Sonny Bradley, I'm now back to immediately just saying, right, Lincoln mid-table, same as always, happy days. You know what I mean? It's just effectively like for like in terms of standard and quality. Sonny Bradley's obviously not got loads left, but it's a really good stopgap for right now. And then in future, like next season, maybe they bring a loan in or bring another player in like this if he comes available. But this one, especially, is really, really good. I think he could have done a job, seriously, at some other, like, maybe someone like a Charlton, for example. That I'm going to use as an example. Or definitely a Wednesday. He never really got chance at Portsmouth, but he's another one that, when given chance, held his own. And I think some of these players, these are the best type of pickups that you can make. Players that are definitely good enough for the team that they actually are, but there's someone that's maybe marginally better than him in front of him that just don't get injured, so you're never getting your real chance. And at this age, obviously, just wants to move and get game time. I think that's a serious coup, that. At 23, I don't know how long his contract is as well, but at 23, resale value's there. I think that's bang tidy, that one. Absolute bang tidy boss, man. That is fantastic. Fantastic. I really like that from Lincoln. Don't get me wrong, I don't think they've got anywhere near enough to challenge for playoffs, but I still think they'll be in and around like 12th again. Just as always, really, with Lincoln. I do like that. I ain't got a clue. I don't even know when this happened. I looked on I went on Transfer Market and looked at like signings per club and sales per club. I didn't even see this happen. Didn't even see it happen. I've no idea what the fee's worth, and it was being touted back to Oxford at the time, and he somehow ended up in Hungary. Not got a clue. Absolutely not got a clue, mate. No idea. I still expect that. Let me just have a drink quickly because I've got cotton mouth. I thought we were going to move back to Oxford, and I'm still expecting Salech, whatever the bloody hell his name is, that striker. I'm still expecting him to get interested in him. I'm expecting Callum Robinson to get interested in him. But this was always one that we're going to leave. Always. It's going to be on big transfer. Not big transfer. CG Gaming, I just read your message and it like put me off. It's going to be on big money, regardless of the fact that he's got the relegation clause in. It's going to be on big money. It were always going to be one that left. I don't know the fee, so I've put £1 million just based on that being his actual transfer market value. But Cardiff, I think, are in a poor state anyway, right? I do think that Cardiff are one that, similar to Plymouth in a way, are a side that everybody just thinks, oh yeah, they've come down from Championship, they're going to have some money, happy days. You know what I mean? Light work. I don't think it's the case. I really don't. If Cardiff can keep that forward line, they'll be absolutely fine. But in other areas at pitch, again, coming back to it, quality, especially in depth, is not there. It's not there. The depth. They got relegated for a reason. Did they not finish second bottom, bottom? What else come down? It were bottom. Cardiff finished bottom at league. They're coming down as the worst side out of the bottom 3. I know they're easily biggest one as well out of the bottom 3 as well. But that don't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing. They need to bring a lot of players in and quite fast. And I'm not seeing them make a load of moves, really. I'm not seeing them be linked to serious quality anywhere. I don't know the financial state with Cardiff. And obviously their owners looking to sell and Bale's put the bid in and all this jazz. They will get promoted eventually. But I don't think, at minute, they're that close to even be... They're nowhere near challenging for autos. I mean, not even close. But even top 6, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to see them in and around there at minute with the players that are still inevitably going to be sold, I would imagine, like that front line. If they keep them, it's a different story. But I can't see them staying. I think that front line are in trouble of leaving. And there's not a whole lot of quality in other areas at pitch, hence them finishing last behind Plymouth, who had Ray and Rooney for that long. Not me. Like, if any Cardiff fan could shed some light, if you're actually linked to any players, because I've not seen out. I've generally seen nothing. I worry for them a little bit that they're not going to be where everybody sort of thinks they're going to be. Brands again, Eyup, mate. Thank you for the 2. What app is this called for transfers used now? All this, everything that you see here is through something called Stream Builder. You obviously have to pay for it. And all this stuff's like automatic, like all the signs and that. It just does it all for you more or less, and I just run it through OBS. But this is what I use. It's so good. It's honestly ridiculous. Like quite expensive, not gonna lie, but I didn't want to just be sat here in my room. Like if I hide this, yo, hey up guys, it's just not the same, is it? If I just sit here and start waffling like this, it's just not quite the same. So this just brings it all together quite nicely, I think. But yeah, it's called Stream Builder, if anybody fancies looking at it. But thank you, Brands. I appreciate it again, mate. Very nice of you. And then obviously I use Flash Score for the other like things that you see on screen in videos. I use Flash Score, and then Transfer Market for general bits and bobs and like values and shit like that. You know what I mean? Transfer fees, etc. But yeah, this is called Stream Builder. Sadie, another 6. Thank you very much. Just for fun, £6 may get you 2 pints up north. Kiss. What? It don't work like that anymore. It don't work like that around these parts. Even in Barnsley. Barnsley. You are literally looking at minimum £5 for a pint in majority of places. Even if you go to local dive, it's still like £4.50 a pint, and that's to drinking a shithole. Unless you go to like a working men's, something like that, and then it's like £2 if you've got a card. But if you're not like 80 plus years old and walking with like a walking stick with a tennis ball at bottom, they look at you like you've got 3 heads. So you just literally, you've got to go to an half decent place and pay £5+ for a Guinness. I'm convinced it's £6 in my local village. I'm convinced. Outrageous. We're in Barnsley. Get a grip. So I might scrape one. Once YouTube's taken its cut, I'll have to get a packet of pork scratchings. But thank you, Sid. It very nice of you again. I've got a really itchy foot. I was going to get my dogs out on stream, but I'm not going to do that. Obviously, I've been on holiday, and I literally look like Michael Jackson. You know when his skin starts like coming off? I look like him. I've got a tan line round my foot, and on my hands, to be fair. And I burnt my feet like first day. I just can't. I can't not burn them. I don't know what to do. I'm literally laving them up in sun cream, and it's just not. It's just not doing it. But thank you, Sadie. Anyway, let's just move. What the hell am I on about? Right. Oh my God! Woo! Let's get your hands in the air right now. Yes. Right, I'm not going to do loads and loads of waffling about this because I did it on Barnsley's live yesterday. But we're winning league. Okay, we're winning league. He did say, I listened to an interview he did with BBC Radio Sheffield earlier, like a 15-minute thing. I listened to the entire thing when I was driving back. And he's saying in it, like, obviously I want to come to Barnsley because they're a big club, etc., etc., all that jazz, you know, normal, just to get fans on side. And he speaks really well, and he's mates with Orient and all this, and it's a really good signing. But when it asked, he said, I'm not coming here just to sit here, do you know what I mean? I'm coming here and I want to be best player. I don't care if he's 100. Buddy, I don't care if he's 100 years old. He's saying he wants to come in and be best player. He's not going to be happy to come in and be back up to done. I think they both play. I think there's going to be some either tactical shift. There's going to be something going on. But I think McGoldrick comes into play. I really do. And I'm telling you right now, for an absolute born fact, he scores goals everywhere he goes. Everywhere. You could talk about age. Last 3 years in league alone, I think he scored 51 goals. Which, yeah, 2 seasons were in League Two. But last season, they were in this division. The 1 year he spent at Derby, when they finished 7th, he got 22 goals in 39 games. Not even a striker. He's not been a striker at Notts County, and he just scores for fun. He scores for fun. Him and DKD. 1-0-0. We are going up. Oh my God, Reds. Also, if anybody gasses Naki Wells up, by the way, you're in trouble. Anybody say Naki Wells, what a signing, and then McGoldrick, he having an unk off. Hi, listen to me right now. You will find out the age of Naki Wells. You will go and Google it right now, in case you don't get there by the time I'm showing it. You will go and have a look. You'll go and have a look. We're going to have one of the best strike forces in this division, hands down. Thank you very much. Moving on. Absolute light work. Curtis Tilt. This one ain't that exciting, really. You go from David McGoldrick to Curtis Tilt. You're not sat there like wetting your Senai. It's not the most exciting thing that's ever happened. But I actually quite like this. Did I watch one Salford game last season? No. I did not watch one. Not one single game at all. So do I know if he's good or not? No. Literally not got a clue. I've got no idea. But Salford fans are saying he's good, and his average match rating is quite good. So I'm taking that as a good signing for Bradford, personally. Obviously, they've got to replace what was comfortably their best defender and best defender in League Two anyway in Jack Shepherd last season. Back to the U-Red. But actually, I don't know, but I'm saying I quite like this. No idea. I don't know if I like it or not. Right, next. So, this is one of the two teams that I'm talking about, but I want to touch on this transfer first. I don't know if it was done before I went. I think it was more or less done. So I was speaking about it, but I'd not actually done it yet. This is an outrageous signing for Swansea, but we're not going to talk about the Swansea side of things here. Leyton Orient have done well. I think they've done really good to get that fee for someone with a year left on his contract. For, again, don't take this the wrong way, a club at the stature of Leyton Orient. I think that's a very, very good fee that they've got for a player with 1 year left on his contract. He's obviously very good, and he was way too good for this league. Ever, really. So, not surprising that he's got a championship move in the slightest. But it is quite a big miss for Leyton Orient. I saw a thing earlier, and it showed the starting 11 that Leyton Orient had in playoff final against Charlton. And out of the 11 players that they started that game, they've only got 4 left. So that's what happens when you've got 4 loans in first place. They've obviously sold, forgot his name, fella in middle. They've sold him to Blackpool, forgot his name. But regardless, there's a lot of serious quality in that Leyton Orient side that has gone. But they have brought a lot in. They've brought a lot in. I just wanted to touch on that outgoing first because this is the actual player that they owned, comfortably the best, was Ethan Galbraith, and he is now gone. But when you look at the players that they've actually brought in, right, I don't know if that is Aaron Connolly's middle name. It's just come up. So Aaron Anthony Connolly, great signing. Honestly, that is really good. It was going to get a League One move, and I think London tax is definitely something that's helped here because the sides, bigger sides, probably outside of L postcode, that definitely wanted him. But some of these blokes that have got Oyster cards, mate, they never want to leave. They never ever want to leave. London tax is a real thing, and it should not be scoffed at. It's disgraceful. Disgusting. Challenge yourself. Leave that shithole and come to a proper club. I'm kidding, guys. I think that's a really good pickup for Leyton Orient. A really good pickup. Is he as good as Kelman? Absolutely not even close. So it is a downgrade, but at least he's their player now, and if they don't get promoted again, they're not going to have their entire starting 11 stripped from him. Do you know what I mean? I like that signing. I like that signing. El Postcode is Liverpool. Surely to God it's London. What the hell's London then? What's London? LD? Surely not. Really? That surprised me. Or does London have some fancy one? Is it just some dollar symbol? It's going to be something wacky in it. And that's dumb. But anyway. Is he as good as Kelman? No, but he's still a good signing. Dimitri Mitchell I actually quite like as well. I don't know if he's going to come in as a fullback or a winger. Because Wellens and Leyton Orient play 4-back, don't they? They're not one of these woke sides, Leyton Orient. They play 5-back with everybody. NW South to be... Oh, fairs and such. Fair enough. That makes more sense because it's like bare big and that type shit. I'm talking like what now? Like a Londoner. But yeah, anyway. I like this Dimitri Mitchell. I actually quite like him. He said on Twitter that Barnsley went in for him early doors and then it went cold. So I don't know what the bloody hell's happening there. But like I said, maybe the fact that we're going to play back four as well and bringing in sort of wing backs that are neither good enough at fullback or as winger because they can't defend good enough and they can't go forward good enough. So they're in this just sort of strange mid-drift. Do you know what I mean? It's such a strange position. And I think the shift back, because I think, next couple of years, the football will transition from everybody's playing like a 3-back now. I think it'll start reverting back to like a 4-3-3 or 4-4-2. I think it'll start going something like that. Especially when you look at best team at world by an absolute mile out. Now they're slapping everybody up in PSG. And Pep saying he's going to change certain things and stuff like that. I do think it will change to traditional fullbacks and wingers. What is Dimitri Mitchell? I don't know. I don't know if he's a winger or a fullback. He's good. I do like him. I genuinely do like him. But I don't know where he is. I don't know what he is. So I can't identify him properly because I don't know whereabouts on pitch he's going to play for Leyton Orient. But I still like it, whichever way he's going to go. Obviously, Michael Craig was playing right back for Reading, but he's not a right back. He's traditionally a midfielder, isn't he? But Leyton Orient put on the post when they actually signed him that he is going to play right back. Maybe it's going to be like a Galbraith situation, who traditionally as well is a midfielder, but came out onto right quite a lot. Galbraith for Leyton Orient. I don't know what situation will be for Swansea with that, and how we'll play for them there. But regardless, this is the League One version, so we'll stick to that. But Michael Craig, I can see sort of doing the same thing. I think he might start quite central and come out wide or other way around, depending on if you're defending or attacking. But I quite like that one. And then Idris El Mazouni. Leyton Orient have broken the transfer record for this blog. They put it in the tweet. It's like well reported that it is. I don't know what the... Oh, no. Leyton Orient's transfer record is apparently 300 grand, and this is from late 90s. I think that's when they were in Championship. Late 90s, I think it was the 97, 98. They broke the transfer record at the time, and it was 300 grand. It's still 300 grand, which is wild. For a fairly decent sized club, Leyton Orient, to have that as your go on, record transfer. But El Mazouni back in is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely top draw signing, that is. Really good. Really, really, really good. Our obviously, because Connell's being linked with a move to Wickham, and I'm sat there thinking, if we're going to sell this bloke as captain to Wickham and we're going to get like £2 million, who realistically are we going to bring in? Because you need serious quality. And I would have definitely had him. Definitely. Because there's another one that if Oxford's strongest position up pitch worked midfield by an absolute mile, El Mazouni would have been playing more consistently. It's similar to Towler at Lincoln. And I think when you can pick up them sort of players, it's perfect. They're the type of players that you want, man, because there's serious, obvious quality there. They got a lot of money for... Oh, no, they were on loan. For it not... I can't remember how it went. But he's been there before at Leyton Orient, and they were very good. This is a steal. Absolute steal. If this is the record transfer and it's about 600 grand, absolute steal. Crazy. Talks of stall with Connell. Yeah, I don't think Connell leaves me personally now. Unless it's... I think Barnsley have almost shifted goalposts a bit and think, you know what, we can just keep like taking pace and we'll sell like 2.5, 3 million quid. I don't think they're wanting to leave, and I also don't think Connell wants to leave, from what I've been told. But Leyton Orient are moving fairly well. Again, it's just a lot... Very similar to Reading. They've got certain players that are honestly real quality. But they're just surrounded by a lot of shit. There's not a lot of good depth there. They still need to bring a lot of players in. And I know there's a long time. Like, we're literally looking at a month and a half left at transfer window. There's ages left. But Leyton Orient are a side that I think dropped down, personally, in terms of where they finished last season. I think. Same as Reading. Even though Reading finished 7th, with all shit that were going on behind doors, I think with the amount of outgoings that they've lost so far, both these clubs, they are both in worse positions, despite bringing in good signings so far. These are 4 good signings. 4 good signings. But they're still in a much worse position than they were last season. Obviously, Leyton Orient can still pull cards of, like, bringing in Tottenham and Chelsea and Arsenal and West Ham. All London loans that they don't want to move out. All that shit. Obviously, with the proven track record that if you bring your loans here, then we're obviously going to develop them really well, like Donnelly and Kelman. And you look at them now, and how sought after they both are from top championship sides as well. Like, they've got a good track record with loans. They can get some London boys in. I don't doubt in the slightest that they're going to bring in like 2 or 3 loans that are going to start from every week again. But I still think they're quite a way off, personally. I think they're quite a way off. Oh my God, I need another drink. What's wrong with me? Dark horse in League One this season. I'm not saying it. I wouldn't know. At minute, I think everybody's roughly whereabouts they should be. There's nothing I've got at minute that I'm like, oh wow, nice. I think I underestimate Stockport quite a bit, just based on the fact that League were quite weak last year. But bringing in someone like Mothersill, and also they're not going to lose loads and loads of players. They've lost a few starters, Stockport have, on frees as well, which doesn't help. And again, I think they're definitely in a weaker position than they were last season at minute. But everybody seems to be doing that. Everybody sort of moves backwards to then move forwards in these in this league. There's a lot of rides. I'll see if I can change something. But I don't think there is. I swear on my life I'm not pressing anything. I swear on God himself. I swear on the big man I'm not pressing anything. I don't know whether there's some setting or something I can change. Because I literally just press the button and stream. I don't change anything. So I think YouTube just does it automatically. But I'll have a look for tomorrow's. I'll see if there's something that I can turn down or off, or I don't know what crack is. I should probably know more about this, seeing as though it is my job, but I just don't do anything like that. I just don't do anything. Don't you have to be dark horse we are signing? Yeah, but like I'm considering a dark horse as somebody that could get in playoffs. Donny will be 10 positions off minimum, so I wouldn't really know To say a dark horse right now, I would probably honestly say Stockport. Right now. But I still wouldn't know as for right now. As I said with Rangers, right, they've been shopping. There's been a lot of shopping in this division, and a lot of shopping in England in general. The Fernandes one's crap. This is top draw, absolutely top draw. And obviously, I've done a TikTok on this as well. And I don't need to speak about the Rangers side of things. Luton are losing someone that would, I would say, very comfortably one of the best players in division, easily. He was one of the best players in league at Wigan, even though his numbers weren't absolutely outrageous. Wigan are not an attacking, free-flowing side at all. They have been crap for years, Wigan. They're, honest to God, they're crap. They really are. They're crap. And they don't attack in numbers. So I think for players, if players can put such good numbers up under either managers or teams that are very defensively minded or just not that good. For example, if you can perform well and get loads of numbers under Paul Warne, I would say, as just a wild example, or at Millwall, them sort of sides, you have very clearly a talented individual in front of goal and in final third at pitch, you know what I mean? And this man very clearly is. I think Luton, they must have had to put this relegation clause in to entice him to come in first place. And I think it was just the price we paid for you, we want it back if we get relegated. So it's just, they've just loaned him, really, when they were in second half at Championship season. And they were so close to staying at Luton, but obviously getting slapped on last day don't help. I really, really think this is a big miss. I think it's a big miss. I really do. Championship live will be tomorrow. I think it's a big old miss. Luton, same as Plymouth as well. I said this at start. They're losing so much quality. So much. If we hold on, let me get this up. This is a little gizmo that I've got going on. Oh my God, look at this. These are the players that Luton have got fees for. Obviously, they've got some players that have left on frees as well. There's a few of them. And the wage bill is going to have, honest to God, I bet the wage bill's come down a solid 60 grand a week. I bet it's come down absolute bucket loads. Because you've got to take into account that they've lost about 4 frees as well, plus any loans that they had. Their wage is going to come down so much. They've got so much money anyway, but they've got fees so far for all these players. Kaminsky and Burke have both gone to Charlton, haven't they? I can't remember where he's gone. That right back, I can't remember where he's gone. Asgard's gone to Rangers and Carlton Morris gone to Derby. They've got a lot of money. A lot of money. But a lot of these... How do I say this? I think Luton have got a shell of a squad at the minute with a lot of money. And it's how much do you trust the director of football? Is it MacArthur still? However much you trust the director of football, the manager, all the people in suits that make all the decisions, how much do you actually trust these blokes to spend? I think Luton, seriously, are going to come and drop like 10 million quid. I think they'll spend a lot of money. Nowhere near Birmingham standards, don't get me wrong. But I think they'll drop a lot of money, mate. I really do. Slavia Prague, that's the one. I think they'll drop a lot of money because they've got to. There's no bastard left. There's nobody here. They've still got like some half decent players left, don't get me wrong. But the players that remain at Luton, I don't think any of them are like touching best players in the league. I think they've got some half decent ones that are like alright top 6 players. But there's nothing left there. Then I'm looking at it and thinking, oh yeah, quality, that'd be a real miss if they let him go. They've let all the best players go. They've got to spend some money. A lot of it. The thing that, and people are definitely going to disagree with me on this, by the way. 100% they're going to disagree with me on this. The thing that the main focal point that I've got with Luton as to why I still think they'll be top 2, regardless of the fact that they have got literally a skeleton of a squad. They've got nothing. Why should they really be deemed as a top 2 side at minute? It's because of manager. Bloomfield, I'm going to go back to it again. Look at what he did at Wickham. Look at what he was doing. He had him in top 2. Oh my God, he had him top 2. And they had some good players, don't get me wrong. They really did. They had some decent loans. Obviously, Cornet and players like that are still there. They had some decent players. But what are we doing here? What the hell are we doing here? Bloomfield's such a good manager. And I think give him what he needs. Luton should walk this. Honestly, they should. The quality that they're going to bring in, And they're still going to lose some of the defenders as well, don't get me wrong, because they've got a few. I think even with these two leaving, they've still got a few centre-halves and that there. But I think they'll drop a lot of money and should, honest to God, piss it. I really do. The Asgard one's quite a big hit, and I think that came out of nowhere, really. In terms of the financial side of things. I didn't know he had that release clause in him. I thought if Asgard were going to leave, they could have demanded quite a lot. But yeah, I think Luton should be right at the very top, mate. Be right at the very top, especially when you look at the players that they've actually brought in. 3 of these were today. Obviously, Naismith and George Saville were earlier on in winter, but the 3 players that Luton have brought in today, Naki Wells, Doffin, and Lonvik, however you say his name, that's what I mean. You're bringing in these players. Look at them players that they brought in. They have not spent a penny. Yep, they've not done anything. They've not even flexed at all the financial power that Luton have actually got in this division. Obviously, we've spoken about the bottom 2 already. Naki Wells is 35, right? For little teaser for them who said earlier that David McGoldrick were too early, were too old even, but then Naki Wells is a fantastic signing. Naki Wells probably is better than McGoldrick, marginally, very marginally. They're going to have an unk-off. And honestly, I think that McGoldrick could get more goals than Naki Wells this season, personally, but that's just me. But it's a really good signing. Someone who got 10 goals, double figures, for a side that got into championship playoffs, despite his age. That is good going. Very good going. Lonvik, obviously, is quite injury prone, and is a loan with an option to buy or an obligation, I believe, depending on if Luton get promoted or not. But Huddersfield, I thought it was very good when he were actually fit. But Doffin, I said this on my TikTok again earlier, Doffin is one of the best signings this window so far, easily. Easily. I thought he were an absolute given to get a championship move. I said this before. I said it on TikTok. I've said it in lives. I've said it in the videos after these games that I've been to. I went home and away to Rotherham. Doffin and Sam Nombe are the only players that Rotherham have got that are keeping him up. Honestly, I think they're in a bit of a sticky sitch, me. And I could maybe see someone like Luton or Plymouth going for Sam Nombe, because I think if you pay like £1.5 million, he's gone. Honestly. That Doffin's serious, mate. That's a really good signing. That's what I was saying. Obviously, bringing in another defender or another 2 defenders, you'd surely think that a lot of the players still that Luton have got in defensive side of things are going to be on the way out. Get Mads Anderson back to town, Jesus Christ. Luton owes about 10 favours. Get Mads Anderson back to Reds. My good golly, he'd be so. If they keep him and actually give him a run out in this division, he'll take piss. Anderson, he'll take the piss. But they are making some very good signings, Luton, so far, despite having scratched the surface of the financial side of things. But again, depth is something that's sort of there for Luton, but not in serious quality yet. But by the time they've brought in 5-6 starters with the money that they've got, they can craft something very good. Very, very, very good. But, boys, we've been going for an hour. I think that's very good time to call it, personally. I want to say thank you again to Match Bingo for sponsoring the lives on this channel. There's a link at the top of the description if you fancy it. Again, thank you to anybody that donates. I appreciate it massively. You don't need to do it, as I've said many times. I do just read your messages when they're in here. But anybody that supports me, I appreciate so much. Thank you. Anybody that's just sat chatting, or if you just sit and turn it on and don't say anything, because that's what I do with streamers. I have streams on my second monitor literally all day. I've never typed one thing ever, but they're just there. But I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being here, boys. Love you all. Kiss. I will see you tomorrow at same time, 6 o'clock for championship version of this. Probably same length of time. It'll be about an hour. But yeah, boys, it has been a pleasure. Love you all. Thank you as always. Kiss once again. And I'll see you tomorrow. Oh my God. I love football, baby.